Here we are studying about the capital structure and its determinants. So there are different things which is included in the capital structure. The first one is equity share capital, preference share capital, borrowed capital, retained profits and current liabilities. So there are 5 things. So here we can see if company is needed 10 lakh rupees, total amount needed is 10 lakh rupees. So it is the capital structure of the company is distributed there. So how much capital? If total capital required is 10 lakh. Okay. And in the 10 lakh rupees, how much rupees of equity share capital can be taken? How much preference share capital can be taken? How much equity share, borrowed capital should be there? All these things are mentioned there. Okay. So and also the percentage of that is also shown there. Like equity share capital is 4,50,000, so it is around 45%. And in that, one thing is given. Last one is actually a current liability. So it is not coming in the category of capital structure because it is in capital structure we include only the long-term liabilities. So current liability is not coming in the category of long-term liability. So we have to remove that. Then we get the total percentage of capital structure. Okay, so here it is called the financial structure of the company. If current liabilities are subtracted from the total liabilities, then the remainder 9 lakh will be called as a capitalization. So there are 2 concepts here. So here all these included, all the things are there, even current liabilities and fixed liabilities, all the things together means the entire liability side of the this one will be the balance sheet will be coming in as the financial structure, that is called as financial structure. Okay, it is capital, which means only the long time liabilities. Do you understand? And the financial structure means the entire things which is coming in the liability side of a balance sheet. So in that main categories will be all these things. In that, if you remove current liability, then remaining all the things are long time liabilities. Okay, so all the long time liabilities will come as the capital structure. Understood? That is called the capitalization, means all the long term liability is included, considered as the capital. So that is called as a capitalization. Okay, and percentage of different sources. So all together, total 9 lakh rupees of financial assets are there of the company. Okay, financial, that is called so the distribution of all the assets into different, or we can say that the balance sheet liability side is fully considered as the we can say it is the financial structure of the organization. Okay, and out of that current liability is coming 1 lakh rupees, so that 1 lakh rupees deducted from this one, so the remaining 9 lakh is considered as the capital or capitalization, total 9 lakh capitalization. And out of these 9 lakh rupees, how much of equity shares are there, how much preference shares are there, how much borrowed funds are there, and how much retained earnings are there. Okay, so the percentage of each of these, so here it may be like 50%, 25%, 12.5%, 12.5%. So this is the ratio in which all these factors are included. Or this, out of this total 9 lakh rupees is the capitalization, and the contribution given from each sources is 50% of that is equity shares, 25% of preference shares, 12.5% of borrowed capital, and 12.5% of retained earnings. This many things are there. So this arrangement of this proportion, how much proportion is called given there, that is called as the capital structure. Do you understand? So capital structure means that in the total capital, how much amount of equity share capital is there, how much preference share capital is there, how much borrowed funds are there, and how much retained earnings are there. Okay, all the long term sources. Do you understand? So that proportion, so that ratio in which each of these things are distributed is called as the capital structure. Okay. Then there is a debt capital and equity share capital. So here we can say debt capital, there are the total capital can be divided into 2 categories, that is equity capital and debt capital. Okay, one is the equity one and the other one is debt. Okay, equity means the owners fund. Okay, equity shareholders are the owners of the company. Okay, so it is called as owners fund. Okay, owners fund or equity share capital. But this debt capital means that this is the borrowed money. Okay, so they are not the owners, they are the, so this is money collected from the external sources, not from the internal sources. So these are equity shareholders are the owners of the company and they are the one who is running the company. They are the owners. So like we can say that this is like in English we study like first person, second person and third person. Is it no? So first in company also the same first person, second person, third person is there. Who is the first person? No, company is the first person. Is it no? Company is an artificial person. Is it no? Company is not a organization or anything. It is an artificial person. So company is the first person from the point of view of a business. From law basis, company is the first person. So company is one thing. It is like a person. Okay. Then second person is the owners, and others, all others are the third parties. Understood? So the company's liability is to the equity shareholders. Okay, so make more profit for the equity shareholder. That is the main purpose of the company. Do you understand? So here we can say the money invested by the equity shareholders is considered as the owners fund. Okay, so these are the from within the sources, and remaining all the things are external sources. It will call like a preference shareholders are. Preference shareholders are also shareholders, but they are not considered as the owners. Why? Because they are not taking the full liability. They are not taking the full risk. Limited liability they are having. You know. So if they get a more, whatever maybe the profit the company is getting, or even if the company is not in a profitable stage. So for preference shareholders, if the company is not profitable stage, then they need not to pay money. But other borrowed funds are there, like debentures are there, or bank loan is there. Okay, so or if any other loans are there, from the financial institution, then even if the company, what is the condition of the company that they are not going to bother? Okay, they want to have interest, and if these all are fixed rates are given to them, there is no fixed rate for the equity shareholder. Okay, then anything will be there or not, that we don't know. Okay, so if the company invested 10 lakh rupees total, and 50% of that is equity shareholders are there. Okay, 25% of preference shares are there, and 12.5% of bank borrowed funds are there, 12.5% of retail ratings are there. Okay, so this is the total source structure of the company, and if the company made 1 lakh rupees total profit, okay, then the interest on the bank, it has to be already paid. Okay, so there when the 10% interest is there, then how much loan is there, how much bank loan is there, 10% compulsory we have to pay. Okay, not more, not less. Okay, whatever may be. If the company is getting 1 lakh rupees profit, then also 10% only is to be paid. If the company made 3 lakh rupees profit, then also 10% only is to be paid. And if the company is in 1 lakh rupees loss, then also this 10% has to be given. Okay, so it is a compulsory payment. We cannot avoid this one. Okay, then see debentures. So debentures also, imagine that 8% debentures are there. So debentures also interest has to be given compulsory. And after that, next money payment will be made for the preference shareholders. And for preference shareholders, 12% preference shares are there. So 12% is to be given to the preference shareholders. So preference shareholders benefit is that, see, like total 1 lakh rupees is there. Out of that 12,500 has been paid for the bank loan. 12,500 is paid for this one. So remaining 75,000 rupees is there. So out of that, the money, this money has to be given to them. So first preference will be given to them. 12% of interest will be given to them. If it is like 12,000 rupees is to be paid for the preference shareholders, then how much money is balance is there? Full money is for the equity shareholders. Understood? So imagine like if here 12,500, here 12,500, here 12,000. Or even also this also can just be, but this one is 25,000. So total payment is supposed to be 50,000. So 1 lakh rupees is made, 50,000 is paid for them, and the remaining 50,000 is for the equity shareholders. Okay. But if the company has made 2 lakh rupees profit, then also for them only this 50,000 is to be paid. Okay. This one over. So how much is remaining? 1,50,000 rupees is to be given to the equity shareholders. So if the company make more profit, the benefit is for the equity shareholders. Others are not going to get any benefit out of that. Do you understand? So that is why they are the owners. But if the company faces a loss, imagine that 1 lakh rupees loss is there for the company. Okay? Then also this 50,000 is to be paid. And this 25,000 is not necessarily to be paid, preferred shareholders this one. Then around this much money has to be paid. Then they will not get anything. Okay? And there was already retained earnings was there. Imagine that 2 lakh rupees retained earning was there. So out of this 2 lakh rupees, the 50,000 rupees will be deducted. That money which they are supposed to get profit, that also will be lost. Earlier, company made profit, and out of that 1% has been kept as a retained profit. Out of that retained profit, the company will pay money to the bank holders, division holders, and other expenses. So that the full loss has to be paid by this 50,000 rupees. Loss is to be faced by the equity shareholders. Do you understand? So that is the difference between equity shares and borrowed funds. So all these sources we can consider as a debt. So they are the third parties. Do you understand? Okay. So their cost and the risk is there. So like from the point of view of the company, equity shares are the low risk factor. Very low risk is there. Because why it is low risk? Because it is not compulsory to pay back money. Okay. We have taken 5 lakh rupees from them. 5 lakh rupees, if no rupee is to be paid back to them. Interest also not necessarily compulsory. Capital also is not compulsory. Only at the closure of the company, the money has to be paid back. Anytime it is not necessary to be paid back. But bank loan is not like that. Bank loan, we have to pay the interest, we have to pay the capital also. Is full money that we say, like if you have taken 2 lakh rupees as bank loan, then we have to pay interest, fixed percentage of interest also has to be paid, and at the end of the year, they will say that in 1 year we are supposed to pay 1 lakh rupees, next year we have to pay 1 lakh rupees, so that money has to be paid, compulsory. Okay, and if the company is unable to pay this money, then bank can submit a case against the company, and they can seize the property. Some land is there that they will capture, some building is there that they will capture and sell that, and they will take out the money. Is it no? But equity shareholders cannot do all these things. So, from the point of view of the company, equity shares are the low risk income. Okay, but getting equity shares are very much costly. Okay, so much long procedures are there. So if you want to issue shares, first we have to register the company in the exchange, stock exchange. Then the stock exchange will conduct so much type of test. Like they will check the financial condition of the company, and so many procedures have to be followed. Okay, then after that they have to appoint like share capital allotments. You have in accountancy you have studied like application money is there, then allotment money is there, first goal, second goal, so much amount of procedures are there, and so all these things are there, all the formalities have to be completed. So it is so much expensive. So much cost is there, so much like paperwork are there. So if like first they will call, they will see like if the share will be 10 lakh rupees share is issued, we are ready to issue. So we will announce that. So for that we will issue prospectus first. Prospectus and the details of that. So that has to be published. Then people will take that and they will give application. So when we have to go through the application, then we have to reply to that, and out of that see like how much, like if we total 10 lakh capital is required, but 15 lakh rupees application comes, then we have to make allotment for that. Pro rata ratio and all is there for allotment. So according to that, how much is there, based on that they will be allotting this one. So then allotment will be made, then again another. So then also full money anyhow they are not getting also. If 10 rupees share is there, for application money 2 rupees only they will get. And if we are unable to allot the money to them, then we have to pay back this money. Okay, so receiving this one, paying back this one, and after that again allotment is there, so that they will not. Some may not pay. Some will be fully subscribed ones will be there. Some are not subscribing or subscribed but not paid. So much amount of complications are there in that. You know, if 1 lakh people are there, 1 lakh rupees has to be collected. Then we have to do the work of at least 5 lakh rupees work. Then only this much money. So means we have to inform these members. Then again they will pay. Sometimes the application they have submitted. After that they will withdraw the application. You know, they will, when we allot them, they will say that we don't want. You know, first they have given application, then we allotted for them, and somebody was interested once, we removed them and we allotted for this fellow. Then they will say that we don't want this. They will not pay first call, they will not pay second call, and after that it will not be there. So these are the procedures. So much complications are there in that. Okay, but bank loan is not like that. So if you want to get money, so you have to give application, and if the company is a wealthy company, if the company is in a good position, then if you apply for the loan, see, like if we are going to the bank for getting a loan, they will give all the, they will ask for all the documents. You know, if you have father, then father's birth certificate, father's death certificate, and if property is there and married certificate is there, that one, father has no any other relation or any other wives are not there, for that documents are required. And in that there are no children, that for that document required, you know. So you are the only owner. All the documents has to be submitted. Then only they will allow bank loan, you know. But for companies, they don't ask for all these documents. If a company is giving application, if a reputed company is there, they are giving. See, like if we are Little Flower School is there, if it is a reputed one, if we are not much famous and very much a big financial institution, profitable institution is not there, that is why they are asking for so much procedures. But if like a commercial company is there, and if company is in good financial position, good profit is made, then they are asking, they will give 5 crore rupees loan required. Yes, come. They will give. Like in Fisher, you know, they are asking for loan and they are getting, easily they will get. There are no much procedures. Okay, they will ask for the documents, and normally these companies, like for us, we are and all are there, like people, we do not know what are the formalities for for asking for a bank loan, how much things are required, all these things we don't know. But these companies, their executives are there are financial managers are there, they know what are the things required, what are the procedures required, where you have to submit, what documents are to be submitted, all the things they know, because they have already studied about these things. And they will also maintain all the documents accordingly, like whatever documents are there that they have already prepared and kept, because they are in need of a bank loan at every time. So they will ask for the bank loan, they will take all the documents and submit there, suddenly they will get bank loan. It is very easy. Cost is expenditure is there, like you have to application and all, some expenditure is there, but not comparing with the equity share allotment, very less amount of expenditure is there. Okay, so and but risk is very much high. Cost is low, but risk is high. Okay, so equity share capital, cost is high, but risk is low, and debt capital, cost is low, but risk is very high. Risk is high in the sense if the company is in profit or loss, we have to pay back money. Okay, if the company made loss, again we have to pay back the money. So that is a very big risk. Okay. Then we can say like some similarities and dissimilarities are there. What are the see for both of them? The company has to pay a definite rate of interest on debt capital, a definite dividend on the preference share capital. Therefore, both these sources of are a fixed capital cost. Okay, so that is one similarity. Then, so the similarity between the debt capital and the preference share capital. There are some dissimilarities also are given there. You can just go through it. Next we have to study is about a financial leverage. So lever, what is the meaning of a lever? You know, lever, not our liver. This liver in physics, one liver is there. So like if there is if it is a very heavy stone, and if I am unable to lift it, so I have to put one rod into this and lift it. Okay, so that which helps us to lift it. So that is the lever. Okay, so like tire and all is there. So the people you might have seen that jack like that, isn't it? So that is called a lever. Okay, means the lever means to increase. You can just imagine that increasing, helping. Okay, or reducing the workload. We can say that it is just so if you have to how much power you have to use, that much power is not necessary. Very easily you can lift it. So it reduces the power requirement or reduces the efforts. So that is the lever. And the same work is there for leverage, financial leverage. The inclusion of a fixed cost capital along with the equity share capital in the capital structure is called financial leverage. So imagine that if total 10 lakh capital is required, okay, the company can take all this 10 lakh in a equity share capital. Okay, it is possible. So, but financial leverage, in order to bring financial leverage, we include some amount of debt capital. Okay, debt capital may be 2 lakh and this one may be 8 lakh, or this one is 6 lakh and equity share capital 6 lakh and 4 lakh debentures or debt capital is added. So, adding more amount of how much more you are adding, that much leverage is there, means it will become easy. Okay, and that is about the financial leverage. Okay, then there is something called the financial risk. By using the fixed cost capital burden of the payment of fixed financial costs increases. In case of the adverse conditions, the inability to pay the fixed financial costs creates a risk which is called a financial risk. Financial risk means that this is adding of this fixed cost income is called a financial leverage. Means debt capital is adding to the total capital structure. Okay, do you understand? So you can make fully like 10 lakh rupees required, in that full 10 lakh can be taken as equity share capital. Okay, but there is, so if it is added like that, then earnings per share of the equity shareholders will be less. Okay, so in order to increase the earnings of the shareholder, we add more debt capital. So how much, if you add 2 lakh rupees into this one, then how much more you are adding, that much more benefit will be there for the equity shareholders. How you will get that benefit, that I will show you one example. With that example I will show you. Okay, so the more you add, the more benefit will be there. But this benefit will be only at the take. So this benefit can be achieved only when the company is in a good financial position. Means if the company makes good profit, then only benefit is there. Okay, but if we are adding more debt capital and if the company goes in loss, in adverse situations are there, that is a very big risk. If only equity share capital is there and if the company goes in loss, then there is no problem for the company, because if loss is there, we need not to pay money to the equity shareholders. Do you understand? But if loss is there, then also the bank loan and other debt capital has to be paid. So it is a very big risk. Understood? Okay. The next one is called the trading on equity. Trading on equity is the same thing. Trading on equity means to raise fixed cost capital. That means the borrowed capital. This debt capital, borrowed capital will be increased on the basis of equity share capital, so as to increase the income of equity shareholders. So this is just like financial leverage. Trading on equity is equal to the financial leverage. It means that you increase the amount of borrowed capital to in order to increase the amount or income for the shareholders, equity shareholders. Do you understand? So that is called the trading on equity. How much more you are increasing, that much more benefit will be received by the equity shareholders. Okay. Then like EBIT EPS analysis is there. So in order to find out this one, we can understand that see like two are there. Okay. So EBIT means earnings before interest and tax. EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. And EPS means earnings per share. Earnings per share. Earnings for each share. Like imagine total 1 lakh shares are there. So for 1 lakh, total capital is 10 lakh and 1 lakh means 1 lakh capital, shares of 10 rupees each. So one share, for one share, how much profit will be received? That is called earnings per share. Means if the company made 1 lakh rupees profit, then one share will get 1 rupees profit. Is it no? So that is called earnings per share. For one share, how much profit is received? Earnings per share. Do you understand? Okay. So there is an analysis given there. Equity share capital, and there are two companies. Okay. So here there are two companies like X and Y. So X company has taken total 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so 10 lakh rupees is there under out of equity share capital and debentures. Okay, so here 10 lakh rupees fully, first company has taken only equity share capital, and then here this company has taken 4 lakh rupees as equity shares and 6 lakh rupees as debentures. Borrowed funds. Added more borrowed funds. Okay, only 6 lakh rupees is equity share is there. For first company, full money is equity share capital. In this company, only this much is there. Okay, so imagine that if the company made a profit of 2 lakh. Okay, if the company made a profit of 2 lakh each and the tax rate is 30. So here for the first company, if the company made 2 lakh rupees means earnings before tax, EBIT. Interest and tax is 2 lakh. Okay, so both the company got 2 lakhs. And when you reduce tax, 30% of tax has to be reduced. So total capital for this 10 lakh rupees fully they have to pay tax. So the tax amount will become 60,000. Okay, so when you reduce then 1,40,000. And so here 1,40,000 is there, and the number of shareholders are there. 10 lakh shares, 1 lakh shares are there. So when you divide this one, you will get 1.4. Is it no? So earnings per share (EPS) will be 1.4. Means 1 rupee share means 1 rupee 4 paise benefit will be there for one shareholder. But when it comes into the investment, so total amount 2 lakh profit we received, 4 lakh is of equity shares and 6 lakh is debentures are there. So in that we have to reduce the tax. So the tax has to be reduced only for this 4 lakh rupees, because this one is not tax, no need of paying tax, because it is paid to the external sources. Okay, so the tax amount will become 42,000, and that is reducted. So then we get 98,000. For 40,000. 30% of 40,000. How much? Huh? 30% interest, na? Tax. Huh? Interest? 30% tax has to be paid, na? No interest, no need to pay. And that will be reduced, but taxable amount is only this much, na? Interest will be paid for 4 lakh rupees has to be paid. So for that much tax is not necessary to be paid. So that will be reduced. So that is why this will come 42,000. Total only for 4 lakh rupees we need to pay. For this 6 lakh rupees, no need of paying tax. Understood? So that is why this will come. And when you reduce this one, we get 98,000. And number of shareholders are also very much less. They are only 4 lakh 40,000 shareholders are there. So when you reduce, you will get the amount and 2 rupees 45 paise interest per share they will use. Understood? 2 rupee. When you divide 98,000 divided by 40,000. Okay. So means this many shareholders are fully there. Shareholders are also less. Here 10,000 shareholders are there. Sorry, 1 lakh shareholders are there. Here only 40,000 shareholders are there. So that many number of people only we have to pay. So for one shareholder, 2 rupees 45 paise they will get. But here one shareholder will get only 1 rupee 40 paise. Understood? So that is why when we add more amount of borrowed capital, the income for the equity share capital will be increasing. Did you understand? Okay.